Hey there, this is Bishop Wade. I'm so delighted that you're here. As I promised, I was going to meet you here this evening, and I want to talk about setting goals. I want to talk about achieving your goals and some of the obstacles that you're going to encounter. Now, I know a lot of people on Sunday evenings are doing a lot of things, but I want you to take your personal growth, your personal development very, very, very seriously. And so I hope that you're on. You can leave some comments. We'll be responding to you. And some of the things that I say, I'm going to add down, or they'll be added under the bottom scroll. Hopefully, you'll be able to receive those. And I want you to keep growing. I want you to keep developing. I want you to have a great year this year. You know, really, my journey started over 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago. I was in Cleveland, Ohio, and I had the opportunity to serve with Archbishop Ellis in Cleveland. He's with the Lord now. But during that time, he was sick, and he recovered from that initial sickness. And when he was sick, he had said to me years ago, he said, in the hospital, I was with his son, and he said, Wade, he said, I want you to read this book. And so he showed me the book, and it was John Maxwell's book on the 21 Laws of Leadership. John Maxwell has written many others, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, Developing the Leader Within. And that started my journey. He actually impacted my life in such a tremendous way that it started my leadership journey in helping me to understand how important it was to grow, to develop, to expand, and to become all that you could be. And that is my desire for you guys today. I want you to reach your full potential. I want you to just grow and develop. And I'll tell you, since that encounter from Archbishop Ellis, my entire life has changed. My entire life has been transformed to some amazing experiences. And I am so thankful for this amazing experience. And it is just awesome. It is awesome. So we're going to get started. And I want to share with you guys some powerful information, some powerful tools that will help you be able to reach your goals. All right, so let's get started. And the first thing I want to do is I want to give you a couple of scriptures. And the first is Luke chapter 2, verse 52. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature. This is what I want to say. Jesus had to grow. Jesus had to grow in wisdom, the ability to discern difference, the ability to make right decisions. And that is so important. So my attitude is, if Jesus had to grow, so do we. And you never stop growing. You never stop growing. I believe that's what eternity is all about. It's about you growing and being able to reach your full potential. So here we go, setting goals. This is an interesting fact. Only 3% of Americans commit their goals on paper. Only 3% of Americans commit their goals on paper. Goals allow you to move and to do more for yourself. It helps you be able to see the future in the present. Goals help you to be able to see the future in the present and then work toward them. So goals actually bring things alive before they actually arrive. And that's what I want to teach you today. I want to teach you some powerful, powerful principles on how to use these goals. And I hope you got a sheet of paper. I want to give you some notes, but I want to show you how to use these goals to help you be able to achieve big goals and small goals. I've been very blessed. My spiritual life, I have goals for my spiritual life, and I'm blessed to have achieved those, and I'm achieving them. I have goals for my health. Many of you who follow me, I'm very avid about eating right and exercising and really pushing yourself. But that was a personal goal 3 years ago, to lose 60 pounds. I did that. I had a personal goal for just having a great marriage. I do have a great marriage. I'm not kidding. My attitude about this is you shouldn't teach marriage until you've been married at least 25 or 30 years. But that's just something I want you to think about. And so I have, goals, I run obstacle courses. So when you set goals for yourself, it allows you to achieve them over a period of time. And I want to give you some strategies. So if you're in college, you're in high school, you're in ministry, you're a professor, you're a CEO, I want to show you how to take these principles so that you can use them to be able to achieve your goals and be able to just really excel and grow in all of these amazing areas. I mean, I have about 7 amazing areas in my life, And I just committed my life to those, and it has transformed my life. It has literally transformed my life. And I want to share some of those secrets, and I want to share some obstacles, because there are a lot of obstacles. There are a lot, you're on the highway and you're driving up 231. There are a lot of exits and a lot of signs that could detour you. I don't want you to get detoured. I want you to be able to achieve these goals. I want you to be able to win at what I believe God has called you to do. And I want to show you how to do it. So let's get started. Number one, goals must be specific. You want to write that down. Write that down somewhere. Goals must be specific. You want to have specific goals. The art of goal setting is to focus on one specific detailed object. You want to set a goal and then be very, very specific about it. So there was a story once told about a group of hunters who were out shooting birds. And one young man, he went out there and he was shooting all day, and he didn't kill any birds at all. No birds failed. And so the old man leaned over to him and said, "What are you doing, boy?" He says, "Well, I got this shotgun. I got this rifle. I'm just shooting into the crowd of birds. And I know I'm going to shoot a bird when I shoot into the crowd of them." And the old man said, "No, no." He said, "That's not the way you do it." He said, "You got to find one bird in the crowd. Find the one bird and angle at that one bird and then pull the trigger." And sure enough, that young man shot, and boom, a bird fell. That's how goals are. So this is number one. You'll see it being scrolled in just a second. Goals must be specific. Goals must be specific. You got to aim specifically at a goal. So what I've done is I've laid out a few of the ways you can do this. Okay. So let's say about 3 or 4 years ago, I was trying to lose weight and I knew my cholesterol was high. It's great now, but I knew it was high, and there were some other things I was told genetically and so forth. But I took on the challenge of saying, okay, I'm going to lose these 60 pounds. I'm going to get my cholesterol together. I'm going to get my life together. I'm just going to get things together for my health. Because, as in my profession, I'm a professor, I'm a teacher, I run a pre-med program, I'm a bishop, I'm a pastor, and I do all of these wonderful things that I enjoy and that I keep in balance, okay? And so I had to find a way to do this. So this is one of the things I wrote down. I want you to hear the wrong way to do it. The wrong way to set a goal is to say, I want to lose weight. That's just the wrong way. Is you just shooting into the crowd. I want to lose weight. That's not enough. It's not enough. You can't do that. You got to write on paper and commit. You got to commit on paper. And this is what I wrote, and I want you to hear. I want to weigh 215 pounds, and I want to be able to run 8 miles easily. I want to be able to weigh 215 pounds and be able to run 8 miles. Okay. And then you can also set a deadline. Every year kind of had a deadline of how many pounds I want to lose. So you could say it like this. I want to weigh 215 pounds and run 8 miles within the next year or 2 years, or within the next 12 months. So you can decide how you want to do it. Here's some other ones I included for you. Marriage. I want to have a loving relationship with Marie. And I will give her a cup of coffee in the morning with 3 scoops of cream and 1 Truvia. That's just a specific way of showing my love. So that was a goal I had, and I have others, but this is how you do it. You want to be very, very specific with your goals. And if you do that, you will be able to achieve them. Now, this is what I recommend. And again, I want to quote this scripture to you, Proverbs 10 and 14, the wise store up knowledge. The wise store up knowledge. So I like index cards, and y'all who know me know I will bust an index card out. I got all your lessons here, but I will pull an index card out you in a heartbeat, because I want to capture the knowledge. I want to put it somewhere. Some of you all use your iPhones. I use my phone also when I'm at conferences. But what I want you to do is I want you to set 3 major goals this year. I want you to set at least 3 major goals. One should be in your spiritual life or your life of peace and meditation. Number 2, you want to have a health. You want to write that down. You want to have health and you want to have wealth. So under the 3 major goals, you'll see this listed in just a second. 3 major goals: your spiritual life. You want to work on having peace in your life. Number 2, you want to work on your health. You want to work on your health. And you want to work on your wealth and your finances. So you'll have to come up with 3 definitions that are very specific to what you want to do and what you want to achieve. And this is how you do it. You commit it on paper. Write the vision. Make it plain so he who reads it can run. I want you to run. I want you to run, Forrest. Forrest, run. I need you to run with this thing. So your spiritual life, your health, and your wealth. And you'll see that popping up in just a second. But I want you to work on your spiritual life, your health, and your wealth. So here is an example of wealth. So let's say, for example, you may say, I want to be out of debt by the end of 2022. And I want to have accumulated $5,000, $2,000, whatever it is, by the end of 22. See, that's very specific. You want to, the numbers don't lie, someone told me. Put it in numbers, your health. I want to weigh 210 pounds within the next 12 months. Put it down, commit to it. And so when you write the goal, you set the goals. There's three major ones I recommend: your spiritual life, your health, and your wealth. They're there. There they go. Okay. So I want you to commit to those three. And you can add more if you like. You can have bigger goals and small goals. Some goals can go out for 5 years. Some are just like immediate, like tonight. You can just make a commitment that, hey, I'm going to go to bed and get 8 hours of sleep every night because I'm tired and I want my body to heal itself. That's what I want you to do. All right. Number two, know the reason why. I want you to write that down. Know the reason why. Know the reason why. So after you set your goals, state why you're doing it. So under health, for me, I stated I want to lose 60 pounds because I want to get my cholesterol down. I want to be able to run up a flight of steps and run. And I want to be healthy enough to be with my grandson when he's able to run and do activities and put him in Spartan races and play basketball with him. These were specific goals. This was my why to my goal. So the next piece is you got to know your why. What is your why? What makes you do this? If I were to ask you right now, if I were to say to you, hey, would you walk across that tightrope? You'd to the other building, you probably say, no, I'm never walking from one house to another on a tightrope. But if your child was in the house burning, you would definitely do it because now your why has changed. Your why has changed. And so I want you, after you set your goal, you want to build your why. Why am I doing this? Why am I working this job? Why am I working this extra job? Well, I'm working this extra job because I want to be completely out of debt and I don't want to be a slave to no one. The borrower is a slave to the lender. A borrower is a slave to the lender. I don't want to be a slave anymore. So I want to get rid of at least half the debt this year and the other half next year. Have a clear, specific reason why. If you can find your why, you will find your motivation, you will find your power, you will find your strength. Nehemiah noticed that the wall of Jerusalem had been destroyed and he was crying, he was upset, and he went to the king at the threat of his life. He could have been killed and asked for permission to go and rebuild the wall because it meant something to him. Goals should mean something to you, whether it is about a better relationship with someone, whether it is to be able to travel to your dream city. You got to know your why. So you set your goals and you be specific. Number two, you have to have a why in what you do. You know, this is really, let me just pause for a second. This is really about you growing and becoming all that you're supposed to be. This is about you growing and becoming all you're supposed to be. It's about capacity. It's about you having the ability to grow and to allow God to use more of your life. See, as you grow, there's more that God can use. Here's scripture for you. To whom much is given, much is required. To whom much is given, much is required. God is giving you much, he requires much. God has opened up more doors, he requires much. I'm very blessed to be able to be a professor, but I'm blessed to be able to be an Episcopal. I'm blessed to be able to do many, many things in my life because to whom much is given, much is required. So you can't sit on what has been given to you. If this great potential is in you, you got to use it. But it's all about growing. It's about really growing. And so I remember a story that I shared earlier with a group where I explained to them that there was a father who saw his son. He was very anxious and wasn't very settled. So the father got a big old map and of the world map, and he tore it up in pieces and he gave it to the son. He said, son, put this together. He figured it would definitely keep the boy busy for at least an hour or two. A few minutes later, the little boy comes back with the entire map completed. And the father said, how did you do that? How did you put that together so quickly? And the young man responded and he said, Dad, On the back of the map was a man. The man was in pieces. But as I put the man back together, and when I flipped it over, the world came together. You see, when the man comes together, his world comes together. Isn't that powerful? When the man comes together, his world comes together. And that's what God wants for you. That is the purpose and destiny, and the call is for you to get yourself together, for you to become stronger, faster, better, competent, clear. I mean, God wants you to have those qualities, because when you come together, your entire world will come together. It really will. It really will. It's almost like there is a divine, there is the ethos, there is this God power that is attracted to people who will bring their lives into order. Heard an old man say to me once that the first rule of heaven is order. The first rule of heaven is order. So when you bring order to your life, your world will come together. All right, now you got the plan, but here is the issue. The issue are your obstacles. And this is what I want to deal with. You want to write down, I want to deal with the obstacles to your goals. So I want to give you a few. We only have a few more minutes together. I hope you're learning something. I'm not really seeing the comments, but I hope that many of you all are making comments on there. And hold on just a second. Let me double check something here. All right. Nope. I was trying to see if I could see comments. I don't, but I'm sure you guys are making comments. We're going to respond to your comments. I hope that you're able to see us. Go ahead and leave some comments, and we're going to respond to you live tonight. We are live here in Panama City, and I'm teaching you how to build your goals. I'm teaching you the reason of building your why, but I want to also give you some lessons on your obstacles. Okay, here we go. Let me give you some quotes. Set a goal and list the obstacles between you and the goal. There's a reason you have not accomplished your goal, and there are limiting factors. There are things that stop you. Okay, let me go back to my weight. So I wanted to lose weight. For years, I didn't. And so I had to ask myself, if I want to lose weight that bad, what is stopping me from losing my weight? So what was my limiting factor? What was stopping me? What was hindering me? See, there was something that was hindering me, so I had to figure out what it was. And so my limiting factor was I love sweets. Let me try it again. I love M&Ms. I love pound cake. Can I get an amen? I love pound cake, M&M, Tootsie Rolls, jujubes. I love them all. I love any kind of sweets. If it's good food, I love it. If it's full of carbs, I love it. I'm telling you, I would rather have a Pepsi. You see, I'm drinking water. I want a Pepsi. So I had to come to the realization that my limiting factor, what was holding me back from achieving my goals, was what I was taking in, which was carbs and sugar and all that stuff. So when I eliminated that, things came together. I want you to make plans to overcome the obstacle, okay? And that is the goal. So figure out, it's called your limiting factor. Figure out what your limiting factor is. If you can figure out your limiting factor, that is your obstacle. You got to overcome it. Let's say, for example, you want to go to Europe. Well, right now, you've been wanting to go to Europe for years. Well, set a goal to go, and what's the obstacle? Well, I don't have the finances. Well, then you need to go make a budget, and then look at your budget and figure out in your budget what you need to stop doing. Maybe you go get a Starbucks, which is like $5, and you go 3 times a week. That's $15. So you're spending almost $80-some a month on a Starbucks. You could save that, and that would be half your trip within a year. So you got to figure out what the limiting factor is. Now, I love this quote. People with great potential fail because they don't think right. People with great potential fail because they just don't think right. People are anxious to improve their circumstances, but they're unwilling to improve themselves, and therefore they remain bound. Really, setting goals is about you getting stronger, better, faster. Here's the term, grittier, getting strong. I mean, really making up your mind that, man, I'm going to do this. I can do this. Growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow will be better than today. Growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow will be better than today. Your goal is you want a better tomorrow. You want a better future. So this is a part of growing. And if you don't have a growth mindset, it's going to be hard to keep up with this goal setting venture that I'm taking you on. Okay. So one of the things you got to do is if you're going to set a goal, you're going to get uncomfortable. You're going to have goals you're going to achieve. You're going to be uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable for me to get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning and do a run. It's very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable some Sunday mornings when I just want to lay in the bed and be cozy. So I have to get up and go pray. The comfort will stunt your growth. Too much comfort will stunt your growth. So here you're trying to maximize for personal achievement. So don't let what you are not keep you from capitalizing on what you are. I want to say that again. Don't let what you are not keep you from capitalizing on what you are. I mean, you may say, well, Bishop Wade, I'm not good at this and I'm not good at that. Well, that's okay. We're not going to focus on what you're not. Let's focus on what you are. God has only given us so many gifts and abilities. You got to focus on that. Now, I can tell you, I rarely will say to you, that will never happen. And I don't want to really say it here, but I'm called to build. I'm called to develop leaders. I'm called to help people grow and reach their full potential and maximize their experiences and see things they've never seen before and walk in a spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's what I want for you. But, I can almost guarantee, not totally, but I pretty much guarantee I'm not coming on this broadcast and sing. You just don't want me to sing. Yeah, I'm finna sing a hymn before I get started. No, not today. Not today. I will find somebody who has the gift of that. So no matter how much I practice on my weaknesses, just because I can't sing does not mean I should not discover what I'm gifted at and then maximize that and use it for the honor and the glory of God. So you got to be able to identify what those things are that are going to hinder you, because you do have an assignment in the earth. Find out what you truly love, then build your daily agenda around it. I want to encourage you, as you build your goals, figure out what you love, figure out what you have a passion for. Before I started, I'm a speaker, but I first started speaking in the church. But my gift is speaking. So I started speaking for other events and conferences and people. Then I started speaking at a college, teaching a med program. In other words, you got to find out what your gift is, what your gift zone is. You may have some secondaries, but there are some primary gift zones, some things that you have a passion for. You got to figure out what they are, and you want to build your goals around those. So if you're trying to create wealth, try to figure out what your goals are, what your passions are, things that get you fired up. I was at a graduation a few years ago, and one of my sons graduated from college, and the speaker got up and he talked, and it was not good. And after he finished speaking, everybody got up and started laughing. They started figuring out where the food was. And I sat there for about 5 or 10 minutes. I was very upset. My wife says, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "He didn't say nothing. He was supposed to say something. This is an opportunity to transform people's minds. They're graduating. This was the moment. This was the sauce. This was the juice. He should have did it. I don't know what he talked about. No one knows." I was so upset. See, when you discover where your passions are, when it's done poorly, you will recognize, it will make you upset when people do something poorly that's in an area of your passion and your call. And so if you're a cook, you don't like bad cooking. You know when you got near bad cooking. If you're a hairdresser, you know when hair is not done right. And that's the same way in your call. What fires you up when it's done wrong? What breeds a passion and almost tears like Nehemiah when like the wall was torn down for Nehemiah? What is it that when something is done, when little children are mistreated, it almost makes you come to tears, because that's an indication of what God has created you to solve. Everyone that has been created to solve something. You have been created to solve something. I got one for you. Don't you die till you solve something. It may be raising your grandson. It may be raising your granddaughter. It may be getting through high school and college and becoming a professor or a professional or a scientist and discover something amazing. Everyone has been created to do something. We are unique. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And sometimes that's why when you're around mediocre people and average people who don't want to go anywhere, it bothers you. It gets you stirred up in your spirit, because there's more to you. And I want you to discover what that is. So one of the things I will share with my wife this, love births wisdom. Love births wisdom. What do you mean, Dr. Wade? Listen, I have a student of mine who has, I think it's a gecko or a lizard. This thing is an albino lizard. And little lizard, she says she knows when he's sick. She knows when he's happy. She knows when he's sad. And she's the good girl. The young lady is serious. She has a special love for that lizard. And her love for the lizard has given her insight and wisdom on what's going on with him. It's amazing to me because I see a lizard, it's just a lizard walking around, give it a cricket and let's move on. She knows its nature, its character, its facial movements, its eyes, the way he behaves. Because she has such a deep love for him, she now has wisdom on interpreting and understanding what his needs are. When you find something that you love, you will gain extra wisdom and insight on what that thing is and how to manage it so that it can grow, it can develop, and it can prosper. That is amazing to me. Everything in creation has a specific purpose. You were created to solve a problem. I mean, you think about it, even your body, your eyes solve the sight problem. Your nose solves the smell problem. Your tongue solves the taste problem. Your ears solve the hearing problem. Your heart solves the circulation problem. Your stomach solves a digestion problem. So whenever there is a problem, something is created in order to solve it. So God, in his amazingness, created you to solve something, and your journey is to figure out what it is. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter. It is the glory of kings to discover it. It is the glory of God to put it and hide it. But it is the honor and pleasure and the privilege of man to seek out. You know, success leaves crumbs. Success leaves crumbs. So you want to be able to find the crumbs. Okay, I have an ear for music. I like playing. I really love those. I love the way she sings and he sings. You may have a gift of singing, others of speaking, others of dance. You got to figure out where your passion is, because that is connected to your purpose and your destiny, to what God has for you in your life. Those are some of the things that you will encounter. And I want you to think about that. Consider this, okay? Mechanics solve car problems, right? Dentists solve teeth problems. Lawyers will solve legal problems. All of these things that are created are designed to solve a problem. You were created to solve something. And this is where I want you to start. My time is almost up for this evening, but this is what I want you to think about. If any man lacks wisdom, knowledge, understanding, discernment, the first thing he should do is ask God, who will help him and give it to him freely. I want you to begin there. I want you to set your goals, discover your whys, observe some of these obstacles, but then I want you to ask God to give you insight, wisdom, and knowledge. Just ask him, God, please give me wisdom and insight on how to live a life that I won't regret, to live a life when I get 80 and 90, I won't have regret. Ask him to help you, and I promise you, he'll help you. He will help you, and he will help you be able to do what you need to do. So I got to close. I hope this has helped you. I hope you're setting goals for this year. I want you to win. I want you to win. I want you to win. I'll come back again, and I'll share more with you later, but I hope this has blessed you. Now, look, this is what we're doing. Many of you all know I have a mentoring program. I'm mentoring young men. I want you, if this has been a blessing to you, sow a seed entitled mentoring, helping young men, something of that nature. But you'll see a scroll. There'll be some place on there where you can do some kind of digital donation. It would help me to do what I'm trying to do. One of my goals this year, speaking of goals, is to help 100 young men and to really help them find their purpose and their destiny and their goals and what they should be doing in life. So you'll see it. It should scroll up any moment now. But what I want you to do is I want you to give to that site. This broadcast is free. I wanted to share this with you. I wanted to just share some of the secrets and some of the insight and some of the things that have blessed me over the years, and the many, many, many people I've met and encountered that have helped me. I stand on so many shoulders, but I just want it to be a blessing. I want you to win this year. I want you to set some goals. What I do plan to do is I'll share some more throughout the week, and probably I'll come back again and teach a little bit more this month. And then next month, I do have a special presentation I'm going to show you. But there it is. You'll see the Cash App there. It's PWCPC. Give there and just say mentoring. But that would be a blessing. Okay, we got to close, but check the Cash App out. I want you to see it. Let me give you a closing thought, at least concerning problems. King David of Israel was the solution and a reward to defeat Goliath. In other words, King David was created to defeat Goliath. Ruth was with Naomi to be able to help her for her loss. And Joseph was able to interpret dreams for the Pharaoh. See, God always creates someone in order to solve a problem. You were created to solve a problem. You got to get on your game, figure out what it is, and finally ask God to give you wisdom to figure out how to solve and be creative and to make an impact in your world. Don't you leave this world without transforming lives and making a difference. I want you to make things better than the way you found them. Make people and things better than the way you found them. All right, my time is up. I got to go. Thank you all so much. I hope this has blessed you. Leave some comments, share this, give in the donations, whatever you give. Some people give, big or small. Give something and be a support and just say mentoring. I'm mentoring young men. This is just part of what I'm created to do. To whom much is given, much is required. I want you to help me. I love you. I'm praying for you. I want you to have the best of all things. Have God's love with you and his peace. Have a great day. You are fearfully and you are wonderfully made. We'll see you later. Bye-bye and God bless. Take care.